Here we go.
Frank 2, I'm stopping slightly in front of you.
Boom!
Frank 1, last one. That is a T kill. The balloon is complete.
Eagle 1 is power.
Frank 1.
Eagle 1 is what appears to be metal chaff cloud, so I guess like metal breaking apart and strewn for an
Frank 1.
Eagle 1, chicken fish.
Eagle 2.
Eagle 3 and then
Eagle 1, Frank 1, you have on-scene command. Frank, this is 210.
On the 1st of February of 2023, a balloon purported by the Pentagon to be a Chinese intelligence gathering device was spotted over Billings, Montana. The result was a social media frenzy that destroyed the brain cells of anyone capable of any degree of critical thinking. So in this video, I'll attempt to answer some of the common questions and thoughts on the matter. How is it over the US? The balloon simply uses buoyancy to drift across the Earth. The rotation of the Earth causes prevailing winds, which dictates the path and speed. Anyone who's into aviation or meteorology knows these winds. Why wasn't it detected? It was detected by NORAD. Both Canada and the United States were aware of it. As it was over Canada, an intercept revealed it had a camera system on it. Why wasn't it shot down? Shooting it down introduced the risk of potentially damaging property or injuring people. Yes, Montana has a very low population, but that population is extremely low density. Despite many people thinking that decreases the risk, it actually does the opposite and increases the risks involved in downing it due to statistical probability. Had the population existed in one big city instead of being spread out over the countryside, it would have been much easier to shoot it down safely. That's not a criticism of their lifestyle, it's just the nature of the situation. That said, the need to shoot it down in the first place really wasn't there to begin with. What was the point of the balloon? The balloon shows the CCP attempting to increase the overall scale of intelligence gathering, but it pales in comparison to already established methods that collect data on a much more massive scale already. The same applies for the quality of the intelligence. Already, China gathers intelligence through sites like TikTok and mass hackings. China also disseminates propaganda through news agencies that operate in the United States illegally. This balloon does not represent any actual strategic or tactical increase in capability. In this regard, it's honestly pretty pointless. If I had to guess, the balloon was for collecting signals intelligence. The balloon is going to have a limited payload, which means any camera it can carry will be significantly worse than anything found on a satellite. The balloon, despite being much lower than satellites, is still above 99% of the atmosphere, which means it has the same challenges as the satellite, but with worse equipment. Again, I'm thinking out loud here, but I assume the camera is for achieving positional fixes, as China's Beidou global positioning system doesn't have nearly as good coverage as it does over the Asian theater. A balloon would have a significant advantage collecting signals intelligence, however, as it would be exposed to significantly less radiation at that altitude, although it would still be much higher than anything on the ground. That said, it would be able to see a massive swath of the country at any moment due to the height. The U-2 does the same thing, though that's a powered fixed-wing aircraft. Its main value ultimately comes from scaring a large population that is intellectually lazy but still highly opinionated. It really shouldn't have worked, at all, but it did, really well. Thank you, David Dunning and Justin Kruger. Downing the balloon. Ultimately, the balloon was downed a few miles from the east coast at Myrtle Beach. Based on radio communications and sightings, 2 F-15s entered the scene. They were to support the 2 F-22s using their targeting pods, which the Raptor doesn't have. An F-22 flying at Mach 1.3 at 50,000 feet launched an AIM-9X Sidewinder at the balloon, as indicated by the close range and the burn time of the missile motor. The F-15s likely continued to track debris to aid in recovery. One of the Eagle pilots reported, "Eagle 1 sees what appears to be a metal chaff cloud, so I guess that's metal breaking apart." Again, why it wasn't done over land.
Eagle 1 sees what appears to be metal chaff cloud, so I guess like metal breaking apart and strewn for an
I usually try and keep a more neutral tone when I make these videos. This one is an exception because of the volume of people who voice their baseless opinions without knowing anything about the related subject matter, nor put any effort into learning anything about it. Hopefully this video helps provide some insight, but honestly, I'm just kinda sick of reading what people have to say on this. Also a quick update, things have been busy, but I got some stuff in production after taking some time to research. I hope to have them out soon, but I don't have a timeline. It's just gonna be whenever I have time.